I think this website is a pretty cool website. Um, this is like a travel canvas. It's kind of like a bulletin board online, and it's a really good tool to use for any place to go for college students from little kids, maybe it's like maybe even kindergarten, all the way up to any age range, which is what I really like about this particular website. So you have your main canvas here, a bulletin board, what have you, and the nice thing is you could drag it as far as you want. It stops eventually, but you have so much space here. You could go up, down, wherever, and it gives you that much space. So what you could do is you could make a post-it note, and since we're on a Thanksgiving theme, with Thanksgiving coming up, I'm just going to say Thanksgiving at my aunt's house. And then, for instance, I could put the time here. So I could put at 3 o'clock p.m. And then we could have a family gathering on dad's side at, let's say, 6:30, for instance. So I could do Thanksgiving at my aunt's house at 3 p.m., then family gathering on dad's side of the family at 6:30, for instance. And then I could change the color, whatever color I want it to be, which is pretty nice. And actually, I could even add a date. So if I wanted the date for Thanksgiving, I could press the date. Uh, it is November 22nd, I think. So Thanksgiving is. Yeah, November 22nd is Thanksgiving. So I could even put the date. And then if I want to, I could either make it a private event or non-private. Um, and I could also add color of the text. I can make it as large or small as I want. So let's make it a decent size. And let's make this a green, for instance. So I've got this, and I could also add in a fun icon to go along with my little note. Um, there's no festive. Oh, well, we'll put fall, for instance, and then we could post it. So what we have here is a nice little note card saying Thanksgiving at my aunt's, and there's one note and a little fun icon with a leaf. Then I could say put another note, for instance, and I could do uh, so I could do EDTL presentation on Monday at 8:30 a.m. Uh, I could say come ready to go. And for instance, I could also put the date, and let's make this a green, and I'll put another icon. I'm going to put a little apple just because it's education. And again, I can post that. And there we go. We have another EDTL presentation or another post-it note. And that thing is you could overlap them. You could put it on top, but mostly overlap. You can put them as close to each other. You can make them as large as you want. Whatever you want to do, you could pretty much do with it. You could do this. You could put a recipient. So whoever you may want to email a note to someone as a reminder, you could put their email address in, and you could email it to them. And then, so for instance, this would be good for a classroom setting, for high school, for any grade level from elementary to high school, or any time during college, especially for like a group assignment, because you can have a group assignment, and if everyone has, if one person has an account and they got everybody's email address in the group, they can, for instance, use, say, this EDTL presentation note card or post-it note, and they could press this. They could send an email to a recipient. So, they could So, for instance, they could have the email. So this is my email over here, and then you could also keep a copy for yourself, and then you could just press send. And what it'll do is it'll send the email to whatever person that you send the email to. So in a group, it'll be nice because you could put in multiple recipients, and whatever post-it note you want to give to them as a reminder for something, you are able to do that because you have that capability of doing so. So you could send them an email, giving them a reminder. And over here, you have different events, and what it'll do is it'll narrow in what event is happening on that particular day. So, for instance, the 22nd is Thanksgiving. And then, for instance, the 18th, oh, this is just a different thing. So if you wanted to get out, you could just click out. And these are just extra things. And if you wanted to get rid of a post-it, there's a check mark here. It says peel off. And then all you have to do is just peel it off. And then you have different things here. So you could put your main. And then for today's tasks, you could write something down. And then you have other bulletin boards such as these, like someday, for instance. And then, for instance, you could put Sunday you want to go for instance, go visit sister in Ohio. And then, you can put a nice little icon, and you don't necessarily have to know the date. And let's make this private, for instance, and post it. And what it'll do is it'll kind of transparent your your note card, so no one, if someone were on there, no one will be able to read what it says necessarily. So you could go on and you could read it yourself. Go visit sister in Ohio. And again, you can move it around as much as you want. Um, and then you have your travel canvas, which I don't know why is. Oh, that meant to be on the main canvas. All right, so travel canvas, this stuff I actually meant to put on the main canvas, the main bulletin board. But same thing, I mean, you could do it for anything. So even with the travel canvas, for instance, if you're on vacation and you want to do a few things, so let's say you're in Florida and you want to hit some places in Florida, you could make different post-it notes in your travel canvas, and you could say, go to Miami Beach, and you could plan events around there. And then if you wanted to make plans, again, you could email those plans that you have to whoever you want to go with on these certain events. So I think it's a pretty cool thing. In terms of like working in a particular classroom setting, I think it'll be great. And I know I've mentioned this website too in terms of education, but in terms of my particular major, I am an education major. I am AYA Social Studies. So, and I think this would be great for me as a teacher to use in the future for my classrooms, because I can say make a post-it note and I could say, I could write a homework assignment or something. You know, for instance, I could say read about the American Revolution. And then I could say answer questions. And what I could do is if I had students who have a website like this, it'd be good because I could just put this up on a website and I could have my students do look at their assignments on the main canvas. And again, I could post it anywhere. I could possibly even put it on today's task. And if I wanted to, I could enlarge it. And they'll be able to do the homework. I could also email them to the students if I really wanted to go through every single person's email and email it to them. But I could make this, I could put it on this website, and I could go anywhere, even individually as a teacher. If I want to do certain lesson plans, or if I wanted to remind myself to, I don't know, grade papers or do finish a lesson or something as individually as a teacher, then I could use this website for myself to help me remember what I need to do as a teacher, or if we didn't finish a lesson and I needed to remind myself where in that certain lesson we ended off, I could just write myself a quick note on this website and I could get myself ready for the next day's lesson. So this is a pretty cool website. I love it a lot. It's pretty nice. It's really easy, self-explanatory, and you could pretty much do whatever you want to do on this website. Make any notes you want. You can make them private. You could do someday. So I could even plan for future events. And even if I wanted to make travel arrangements in between teaching, I could also do that for myself as well. And students could do it for all ages as well. So it's a pretty cool website, and I would definitely recommend this website to other people as well. Thank you for listening.